up. Keep it classy like that. My tongue on it. Easy on his way.
We can start it now. No, you ready?
Yeah. NASCENCE Interview. I guess we can get started.
Check.
Check.
What is your name?
What is my name? My name is Gami. But as anybody who knows me as an artist, my name is Soul. My name is Soul's Tragedy. I am the creator of Nations. Hold on, let me do that again. My name is Gami, aka Soul's Tragedy, aka Big Pee Poppy, aka Mr. Sex Symbol, aka him, aka the greatest to ever do it. Yeah. That's my name.
So the EP is called Nations. Why that name?
Why did I call the EP Nations? So, when did I find that word? I found that word by accident. I was looking for rhymes on a website to a whole nother word. I don't even remember the word because it was so long ago. It was almost 2 years ago. And I was looking for rhymes for a word. So I was on one of those websites where it gives you rhymes to the words. You know, when you start off, you need to look up the rhymes. And one of the words on there was nations. I was like, what the fuck is that? And it said coming into being for the first time. It's like birth, it's like origin, coming into existence for the first time, nations. And I was like, I love that. I loved it so much that I decided those years ago, before I had even started the project, before I had even really conceived of the project, that the first project I ever made would be called Nations. And so, it is so.
What was the process like creating the EP?
The process of creating the EP. I've been working on this little EP for a year. Oh my God, it's almost a year to the date now. I started April of last year. I made the intro to the project December. It was the New Year's of 2024. It was a long time ago. But I made it on New Year's. I was tweaking off acid. I made the intro there. But as far as actually starting the project was April of last year when I was living in my apartment. It was right after I lost my job because I fought my kitchen manager. Got into a fight with my kitchen manager, lost my job, unemployed, collecting unemployment. I said, fuck it, what am I gonna do with my life? I was at a point in my life where I was like, either I double down yet again, because it had been years of me doing music at that point, or I finally turn around and do something else. And in that moment, I decided, I can't do pretty much anything else that costs money because I'm unemployment now and I don't want to go back to work. So I went all in on music again, and I decided that I would make a project, but the process of making that project started in that apartment, in my little home studio that I had. Took me through homelessness. I turned in my apartment, turned in the keys to my apartment, moved back in with my ex-roommate on a fucking mattress. I bought a laptop so I could continue making music, and I was on a fucking laptop on a mattress with no blankets, nigga, surrounded by garbage, working on Where'd You Go. I remember the process of creating the project. I know it's kind of a long-winded answer, but I was making it for a long time. Now, What's Up was done the earliest, I would say, because that was the most exciting song. But I was working on most of those songs up until like a few months ago. And that was me in the apartment, me homeless, me moving back in with my family, starting to work again, and finally pretty much having a final, mix for everything now, a year later. It was hard, and it was hard because almost every single thing that I did in this project was my first time ever doing it. My first time doing something like Fear with all of those vocal layers and dealing with auto-tune and everything. I had never done anything like that, especially with as many layers. There's like 40 tracks on that song. There was about 40 tracks on that song. Same thing with What's Up, with the anthem in the back, the crowd effects, things like that. I had done them on small scales, but not like that. The automation on it, the way the beats change, and there are effects over the whole master with like overdrive going on the whole master, with sex, drugs, and music, how the whole song gets drowned out in reverb in certain sections. A lot of the panning that I did, the automations that I did, Even the final track with the way I mix those vocals and the side chaining, just a lot of stuff that I had to self-teach myself simply to be able to deliver the product that I wanted to deliver. In a way, my goals with the project were too ambitious for me to fulfill in the moment that I started, and that's part of the reason that it took me so long to do, because the final edition now, it was initially supposed to be like 11 songs, and it ended up being like 6, including the intro, so only like 5 new songs, because some of them I literally didn't have the skill to achieve. In any case, I think it turned out well, but yeah. It was a long process, very long process.
Alright. What's the meaning behind the EP? How does the EP make you feel?
What's the meaning behind the EP? How does the EP make me feel? Okay, the point of the EP was to make a statement. Nations, for me, I wanted to make a statement of quality. I wanted to, because everything else had been done, like, singles or little projects here and there. I wanted to make a product that was genuinely quality, that was genuinely polished, that was genuinely fleshed out, and that in a way sort of had a through line. This is who I am, and this is where my journey starts. This was my hello to the world and my declaration of potential. That's what Nations is to me, and I hope that that's how it reads to anybody who finds it, because it is my first project and it is entirely me. I engineered the entire thing, I wrote the entire thing, I recorded the entire thing with the exact same equipment that I started with when I was 16. This is exactly that. This is my declaration of potential. That's what Nations is. And how it should feel is, I want you to walk away from it understanding. I gotta get the lyrics out for it so you can really get the messaging behind everything, but it is 2 things. It is, I want people to walk away with a feeling of ambition, but also an understanding, not to sound corny about it, but genuinely an understanding of my psyche. I want this, because it really is coming into existence for the first time. This project is an introduction, meaning you gotta get to know me and also what I'm trying to do through the project. And different songs touch on different aspects of that. But I think that answers the question, right?
What song do you think would please the most people?
What song do I think would please the most people? That's a hard question because they're all so different. Like for me, clearly What's Up is gonna be, like, that's the main attractor, that's the opener, that's my baby. What's Up is my baby, boy. But genuinely, I've had people like Juan likes the last song on the project the most, because it has that like screaming, like deeply despairing feeling, and that sad ass nigga, obviously, you know what I'm saying, he feels that. He shouts out to Juan, he feels that. But then, like my mother, she would like Where'd You Go the most, because it has a more hip hop kind of like vibey kind of vibe to it. Me, I'ma like What's Up the most. I hope you would like What's Up the most, because that's my baby. But like someone like Quentin Crawford, shout out Quentin Crawford, he likes Sex, Drugs, and Music the most, because it has this kind of lit sound to it with this sort of like melodramatic twist in certain pockets of it. I want What's Up to make the biggest impact, because I think that is the most polished, interesting, creative, dynamic, fun, energetic song on there. That was what makes the biggest impression to me. But people like my brother likes Fear the most. And yeah, he loves that song. And Away. A lot of people like Away the most. That as far as the mainstream song, the song that would resonate the most, I would say Away, because that has the most mainstream sound. And that was the goal behind it, was to create something that people were a little bit more familiar with. That's what the project is. It's like, I can do anything, nigga. I can do anything. Bitch, I can do anything.
Tell me about work.
No way you wrote that down. Tell me about Dwork. Yo, Dwork, that's the unreleased goat. Yo, niggas don't know about Dwork. Niggas don't know about Dwork. That's the hidden gem. That's not on the project. Dwork, oh my God, no. Twerking. We in the club, twerking. Save your dorking behind the camera.
How do you see this EP taking off?
I don't see it taking off. I'm gonna promote it and I hope people like it. And I think people will come back to it and see what I was trying to do. Unfortunately, I see the flaws in the project. I don't expect it to go viral or anything like Quentin probably expects out of his projects. But I think anybody that comes across it and actually is into music and is sort of understands my niche in a way, is going to see it as something that's good and that genuinely separates me from most people. And as I promote it and everything, I won't spend too much time on it simply because I'm already excited by the next project, and I've grown so much in the process of making this project that the next project, I think, although it's going to be more immediate and less intricate, is going to be felt much more immediately also and received that way also. But I think it's good. I like this project and I stand behind it.
Why do you love music?
Why do I love music? Okay, yo, why are you cooking? Why are you cooking, bro? Okay, all right, bro. Why do I love music? Man, music inspired me when I was weak. Music inspired me when I was nobody, when I was nothing. I grew up the middle kid, bro, so I was invisible. I was by myself all the time. When I would hear Eminem, till I collapse, I'm spilling these raps. Long as you feel them to the day that I drop, you'll never say that I'm not killing them. Woo! You said what?
Okay,
A little lappy. Till I collapse, I'm spilling these raps. Long as you feel them to the day that I drop. Yeah, music made me feel powerful. That's why I fell in love with it. And me doing it and me going in that direction was a way to sort of mythologize. I don't think mythologize is a word, but yeah, sort of, it was a way to amplify me, to express myself and to elevate myself in the way that I saw it elevate the people that I admired. And my relationship with it evolved so much because it started as that and it grew to be so much more and deeper. And I always felt like people's reasons for loving music were much more noble and deep and open-ended than mine were. I wanted to feel strong, you know? And I wouldn't say I continue it for that reason now, but that's why I loved it. And why I love it now, I would say, in its most fundamental sense, like in the most fundamental sense, at least for me, it's still that, but it's grown to be more than that for sure. I've come to appreciate the effect that it has on other people, and you know, the more social aspects is just why most people like it. But I've always loved how we could elevate somebody, you know, how it could turn them into more of a figure than a person. Somebody who you could look at and be inspired by. Yeah, that's why. Good question. Yo, good job, bro. Good job.
Message for the youth.
Message for the youth? Bitch, I'm not a role model. Yo, follow Christ. Follow God. Build a relationship. It's not what you think it is. It's not at all what you think it is. Follow God. The deeper you look, the deeper it gets. Always, always. Unbelievably so. More than you would ever imagine. Genuinely more than you would ever imagine. Listen to yourself. Develop yourself. Don't be afraid to destroy yourself in the pursuit of something greater. Because you'll always end up, if you keep an open mind, genuinely, and if you can manage to keep an open heart, and if you can be courageous, anything that you experience will make you stronger. I know that. I know that.
Are you in love?
Am I in love? I'm in love with Christina Sunshine Conley. That's my baby. I love her. We're not together though. Christina probably doesn't. Christina. Yeah.
I'm all out.
You all out. We could do like a moving forward or some shit.
You basically already answered that. I already had a question like that. He was like, as far as his next project, you know.
No, you can ask. Go ahead, ask. I'm gonna act like I didn't know.
But you already answered it.
No, bro, ask.
What's next?
What's next? That's a good question. What's next? Man, I really want to get back into my more spontaneous era of music because I spent a fucking year working on this project. I want to get the videos done. I want them to be good and polished and everything because I make my own videos too. But then I got my next project I'm working on now. I'm excited for that because it's going to be more immediate. It's going to be more immediately enjoyable. You know, it's going to be less intricate, like I said earlier. I'm excited to be in an era where I'm talking directly to my people more, where I'm more active, where I'm making more connections, where I'm traveling more, just more spontaneous, more open, and more immediately feeding the people instead of being a hermit like I have been and working on this project. So that's what's next. But for now, I'm working on this. But what's next is already here, because that's who I am. And yeah, that's NASCENCE, everybody. It's the NASCENCE Interview.
Yeah, I see you. Them purple dresses, see them.